Hey guys, welcome to Tiffany Tells podcast. I've never messed up. Oh gosh.
It's us?
It's y'all.
No, don't put that on us. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Tiffany Tells. Oh my Lord.
You said, hey guys.
Sorry.
Like Barney. Like Barney. Ham and cheese. No blame.
I bring a whole different energy in here. Oh my gosh.
Let's give him Barney.
All right.
Well, really, herself is messing up. So
It really is.
that's true.
It really is. So
maybe,
here we are.
Maybe.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to Tiffany Tells Testimonies podcast. I am your host, Tiffany Napier. This is episode 4. Thank you guys who have been looking in, liking, subscribing, sharing. It's been a wonderful journey. I'm so glad that you guys been joining us, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful situation. So we're just going to keep it rolling. Guys, I am happy about this episode. This is going to probably be one of my favorite episodes, as I always say about all of them. But for sure, this is going to be one of my favorite ones. My husband is dear to my heart, for sure. But there's another group of people that are very even closer, deeper to my heart. And those are my siblings. So welcome to Tiffany Tells Testimonies podcast, The Walkers. Yeah. Hey!
All right, come here, Stacks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, welcome. Welcome to the couch. Hey guys, can y'all see we're in a different section? You know, usually we're in some chairs, but we're on the couch today. So look at us, expanding. So here we are. I am going to get started. I usually do this thing that I say, who is so-and-so, so-and-so? So I'll let them introduce themselves. We'll start to the left. Who is Bianca Walker?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Just go ahead.
All right. I am Bianca Walker, Jean Walker. Who am I? Sorry. I am a mother to a great, energetic, smart 7-year-old boy. I am a future graduate. I am a course of child of God. I am a friend. I am a sister. And I'm a healthcare worker. So I love to heal people. So, and I'm a Jackson, but today I'm a Walker.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Next, who is Haley Walker? Go ahead, Haley.
Hey. Okay. Sorry. Ooh, y'all know I'm,
People get to know who you are,
Yeah.
Haley. Go ahead.
All right. I'm Haley Walker. I'm the last born of the Walker tribe. I'm a hairstylist. Sorry. I'm a lover of God, Jesus Christ. And yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Haley, for sharing. All right. Last but certainly not least, we call him Ladie, but can also be known as
Bubba.
Bubba.
Daryl Walker II. I'm the oldest out of the 4. I'm hard-working, big brother, provider when I can, and a good man. Love God. So
Come on, good baby God.
glad to have these 3 knuckleheads as my sisters.
Knucklehead. Anointed knucklehead at that. We're going to say it. We're going to say it. Well, guys, these are my siblings. This is really cool. We've never done anything like this before together. I really am so grateful for them to come on the show and be able to share a little bit about ourselves individually and collectively. So I just want to jump in with an activity. I don't know if y'all don't mind. If you won't mind pulling out your handy dandy dry erase boards, you know what I'm saying? And so I have an activity. Before I do this activity, a song comes to mind that just bubbles up in me. I don't know, every time I get ready for these things, it just comes up. But I just want to say, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere,
Jesus.
you better wake up and pay attention. So here we are. So we are going to jump into this. This game is called Who Is, okay? And so pretty much we're going to say, I'm going to ask you guys 10 questions. I have 10 questions and all, and I'm going to ask you guys who is blank. So who is most likely this? Who is most likely that? And so you can vote for yourself. You can say all of us or anything like that. So there's no restrictions. All right. All right. So the first question is, who is the most dramatic? Who is the most dramatic? And it can be a tie, you know. It can be a tie. It can be a tie.
Hold on. Out of us four?
Yes. These are questions about us. About us four.
I didn't like the way I write that.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready to reveal.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Hold on.
Okay. I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Okay. Oh.
What?
Oh, that's so interesting. You put all of us?
Yeah.
Oh,
Disrespectful.
okay. And
And you didn't write your name?
For what?
Dramatic.
Are you kidding?
You were dramatic.
Why did I put you?
Why did you put me?
Oh,
Y'all need to be honest. Y'all need to be honest with yourself too.
100%.
You can vote with yourself. You can vote for yourself too if you want to just be
I'm
honest.
offended.
You know,
Why am I the most dramatic?
because you are.
Definitely up there.
You are. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
What was most likely? Who was most likely to get caught in a lie when we were growing up? Who was most likely to get caught in a lie? Okay. All right. Are we ready to reveal? 3.
oh no.
Ready? 3, 2.
Wait, hold on.
Now y'all gonna have to come on. This ain't. I'm gonna have to do a little timer on y'all.
I have to be honest.
You need to be honest, and if it's you, you need to vote for yourself. Be honest. Come on. Be transparent. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Now put
Yeah.
on.
Bianca, you were honest with yourself, and that's good, because you were the most likely.
The worst?
Yes, Bianca always
Hold on.
lied.
Let me say something real quick.
Okay, go ahead and say something. Defend your case.
Something.
Yes.
Yes, I cannot lie because I'm a truthful person.
Okay, Bianca, now you lying right now.
I am a
How you
truthful
gonna lie?
person.
You gonna lie right now?
lying.
Okay.
How is that a lie? That's the truth.
Okay. Next question. Who is the funniest? You don't need that.
That's
Who is the funniest? Okay. All right. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, reveal.
I'm bad.
What'd you put?
why put me.
Both of y'all put yourselves. Y'all are not the funniest.
And that tells.
Everybody is funny in their own
I know that, but you said the funniest.
Yeah, and you're not.
I'm the one.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
I'm the comedian.
Like I'm the no. I'm the if anybody's a comedian, it's me.
Okay. Next one. Who is the best dancer? This should be the obvious choice, guys. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself in this moment. All right. 3.
Hold on.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, reveal. Okay, Haley, you're just not telling the truth. Okay, there's some truth there.
It says maybe.
No, it's for sure me. It's for sure me. Thank you. That was very.
She said me and maybe Tiffany.
No, the truth is just me. Tiffany, you know I beat you in every dance challenge. Okay,
Let's not.
next one. Who is most likely to survive in the woods? Who is most likely to survive in the woods? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
He is not surviving out there. You out of your mind.
Well, Ladie calls himself Wolverine, so
They ain't got nothing to do with this.
Literally nothing.
They ain't got nothing to do with this. I feel like I would be the most.
I said
I would survive.
You
Yeah, I feel like I would survive in the
No.
woods.
didn't you get chased
I did get chased, but I survived. Now there you go.
Yeah,
That's
but what's
pretty.
survival
You had a
techniques?
team with you. You want by yourself.
And you also
Exactly. Okay, we're not talking about that now. So y'all to jump to another situation.
We just think about survival skills and you failed.
All right, but I did survive. I'm here today. Amen. By the grace of God.
All right.
Okay, who is the worst at keeping secrets?
Oh, I know this one. Ooh, I know this one.
Hold on.
Okay, ready? Go. Okay.
100%.
Gosh.
I'm glad you voted yourself in there too, Lydia. Because that's very authentic of you. Yeah.
I said all. You messy. You messy. Y'all have some moments too.
But you extra messy. If I'm messy, you extra messy.
I do
Okay.
this. Whatever.
All right, we're coming down to the end. Okay, now this one is a rate. So that means you write all of our names down. Who is the best cook, 1 through 4? 1 being the best, 4 being the worst.
Tiffany, I don't like that.
Go ahead. Rate
You said the best cook?
the best cook of us, 4. Who's the best out of us and who's not the best out of us?
At 1
That's
through
not-
4?
1 through
Can I do a
4.
tie?
No, you can't. You gotta vote. You gotta vote.
Well, I haven't had none of y'all cooking in a minute.
Well, you just gotta go off of what the last thing you ate.
Number 1 is the best.
Number 1 is the best.
I'm sorry. Oh, why you gotta make us put on our...
You already know?
Yeah, it should be.
This
It's
is-
no brainer.
This is terrible.
Come on.
This is not
I
hard.
don't like this though, because I mean,
Nobody's gonna get their feelings hurt. This is just fun and play. We're just hanging out. Okay, we're ready?
hold on.
Be honest. Just be honest with yourself. Be okay.
Okay, you ready? All right, 1, 2, 3, reveal.
Yeah. She put it.
That-
At the bottom?
yeah,
But Tiffany put us.
I did.
Tiffany don't cook.
Y'all put me as number 2?
Yeah.
Where'd you put me?
You put me as number 1 now?
Well, it's because of that certain thing that you could put out.
One dish I make number 1.
But you know what? You know what? That says a lot.
Y'all put me at number 2.
I'm shy. I'm a decent cook. I ain't gonna say I'm the.
Okay.
But you,
I can make some.
I see you don't be out good about eat dead either.
Okay.
Well, I get 3 out of your food. Because Ladie still kind of be like Ladie.
That's what I'm saying.
I appreciate y'all.
I had y'all just high.
I put you as number 1. Okay? Okay, next question. Who got the most whoopings?
Oh, I already know this one.
I don't know this.
Y'all were introduced to Mr. Hart. So
Yeah.
I think it would be very easy to see who got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put y'all together.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, reveal. Yep. This is a unanimous decision. You both got a lot of whoopings out of all 4 of us, for sure.
Well, I feel like it's Bianca's fault every time.
Okay.
What? Hold on.
She always try to lead me to disaster, so...
First of all, I used to defend you. When I defended you, I got a whooping.
And let's talk about that. Nowhere near.
I know you didn't hold me down. I hold you down. You didn't hold me down.
Would be like, stop hitting my sister.
Yeah.
This shit get a whooping.
Oh, shoot.
I'd be gone. I'm not taking that L.
Go.
Okay, 2 more questions. Last 2. Okay, so this again is another one of those things where you write all our names down. Okay, so who acts like which parent? So, out of mom and dad, like who acts like what parent? So you'll write down.
Won't you add Granny into the situation too?
Add Granny in there. Who acts like Granny too?
Is this like a number?
No, you just so
Anybody.
you put your name, you put, Ladie's name, and you'll be like, who does he act like? Okay. You don't put yourself. Don't vote for yourself.
I already did it. Sorry. I was number 1.
Okay, well, don't vote for yourself. You're voting for everybody else but yourself.
Well, how we voting?
Well, you're not voting. You're just saying who you think. Okay. Are we ready?
Oh, hold on.
Okay. This. Okay. Are we ready?
No.
All right. As we're waiting, guys, just thank you guys for joining us. As the patience.
All right.
Okay, we ready?
I put me, but
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. What we got?
I act like daddy? Really? That's okay. I mean, we do have the same birthday.
We all have different kind of thoughts of each other.
Us, daddy. Hold on, what did you say? Yeah, you spot on.
I wrote mama for you at first, actually.
Really? Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, mine is mama, so.
Well, I said all of them. You, Granny. It just depends on the situation.
All right.
100%.
Last question.
mine?
You guys have been doing really good. I put daddy for you
Daddy's first,
because you got that stubborn spirit,
and that
and the Lord helps that.
You said stubborn spirit?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the last question, and you got to be honest, and everybody needs to be honest about this. Who has the best fashion style?
Y'all ain't got no fashion. I don't know.
Who has the best fashion style? You guys just be honest.
Who has influenced every last one of y'all?
Just because you're the first,
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. We all have our own style. We all have our own personality.
So I'm just gonna say everybody then.
Okay, go ahead.
I
But there is one person.
y'all are a piece of me.
There is one person. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Maybe you.
That was crazy.
she said me.
Whitney. You thought it was you?
I
Your
am.
boots and flannel and style, bro.
All right.
That ain't it, cuz.
Okay. Y'all know. Y'all know I got style.
It's my girl.
Y'all know I got style.
She got style, but it's so, but it's all right.
Tiffany, when you read that,
And like, remember the last episode I told you that my name is Tiffany, but they call me Tinny? You can hear it. You can hear it. Just hear it today.
That ain't it,
Did
cuz.
you want my jacket at the last game?
I did want your jacket,
Exactly.
but I don't naturally take a lot of your style. I have my own style. So
But you have good style. You definitely got.
you guys were kind of honest about this. I'm glad. There was a couple ones that I feel like
man.
should have just went my way.
Excuse me?
Because
Your way.
I know you don't think that last one is true.
I do have the best style.
No.
Check my pictures, guys. Check
And
my
your
pictures
pictures
on
say-
Instagram and Facebook. You're gonna see the style. You're gonna be like,
Flannel
"Whoa."
and Tim's.
And that's the style. That's the flannel Tim is a situation.
Lord
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Well, thank y'all for playing that game with me. Did y'all like that?
Yes.
Just a little fun thing I found. Well, partially, a big reason why I wanted to bring you guys on here is because I am for sure. The name of this podcast is called Tiffany Tells Testimonies Podcast. And so it's really gearing towards my book that I have on digital platforms, online, all the places where you can find it. Cop this book. It's just short stories about my testimony and all the things. And so I usually try to bring people on to kind of correlate with chapters in my book. And so the chapter that I really want to hone in with my siblings, that I really got inspired to kind of bring them on, was the chapter called Present in Pain. And so I'm not going to, again, I always tell you, I'm not going to tell you all the details because I want you to get the book. But even though the chapters are like a page, I can literally tell you it all. But literally this chapter is chapter 3, Present in Pain. And it's just pretty much talking about how usually when you're in pain or you're trying to be present, they kind of cancel out each other. And so it's hard to be present while you're in pain. And the situation I was talking about in this book was the death of our parents. And so part of the reason why I wanted to bring them on is just to kind of talk about our grief, how that process was for each of us individually and collectively. And I just don't think a lot of people talk about it. People don't really talk about grief. They don't talk about the process that they had to go through with grief and what that all brings up. And then as siblings, as a collective, like we weren't the only ones to experience this. And so I thought it would be cool for us to kind of talk about that. And so those of you that don't know, we lost our parents in 2014, 5 months apart. And so that was pretty traumatic for all of us as we were just living life, and then that happened traumatically. And so I think my first question I want to ask you guys as we open up about grief and what that is like, what do you think now that you've experienced that loss of our parents, like what has grief taught you about yourself?
You're gonna have to push through regardless of the situation, because we all have a destination, and regardless of being in pain or not, we got to keep going because the world's gonna keep moving around. And you just got to keep what's close to you, important that's dear to you, in your life. So, grief is dangerous. So it can take you through some terrible turns, and you just got to lean on the people that you love.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. What else? Want to share what grief has taught you about yourself and what you know now about it?
I think for me, I feel like one thing that I've learned is that you need to basically take care of your mental health. Because I think I went a lot of years and was like kind of going through functioning depression, but I didn't really know, because I was like just kept going and going and going. And then one day I just crashed really hard, and I was like, I'm just not doing all right. And so that's a hard thing to kind of have to put yourself at kind of like zero to kind of get yourself back up after not realizing how far deep you were in like depression. So with that grief, so I feel like mental health is a really important thing that you need to take care of.
Good. What do you think, Bianca?
I agree with D and Haley. Is pushing forward. Definitely big on mental health. Taking care of yourself. For me, I would have to say when I became pregnant with my son, I had no choice but to face it, because I also didn't want to deal with it. I was just navigating. But when I had my son, it was just like kind of, for me, that was like a wake up call. Like, I'm about to bring another life in here, in this world, and I haven't taken care of myself. So literally before I had my child, I did go to therapy to prepare not only just for the life that I'm about to bring in, but also the lives that I lost. So I was grateful for that. So I encourage everybody to go to therapy. I don't care for what it is, whether it's a loss of a friend, family member, anything, just mental health in general. Take care of your mental health, because it is getting serious out here.
That's good. Yeah, and I think for myself, what I learned about grief is that, that there's a feeling that you can't, that society kind of tries to get you to hurry up and move past it. But the honest truth is that you got to feel what you feel. And when you do feel it, you have to allow yourself to feel it. And because if you don't, it's going to come out in a different way. And I know that when you stuff it, it actually makes it worse. And so I learned that dealing with it because I would have different ways when they passed away. I would have different ways, different moments where it would just come up, and I may be at work. I may be somewhere where I can't just let it out, but I may have to excuse myself, go to the bathroom and shed some tears and come back, but I tried my best not to suppress how I was feeling, and I felt everything. And so I think what grief taught me was that it's ongoing, and then I have to release it. I have to release it. And when I don't release it, it comes out in something different. So that's one of the big things.
Do you want to say something else?
Yeah, I mean, trying to figure out things after the fact, being the oldest is always been, hard, because you want to make sure you lead by example. So, you take on those burdens. Not saying it's a burden, but it's a responsibility. It's unspoken. You don't have to be told to anybody, but as the oldest, you want to make sure that you're around to help out in any way, fashion. So, just trying to be strong for everybody is hard sometimes. So you just got to take day by day and just live and let God do what he does, because you don't have the answers for anything. You just don't have to trust and believe that one day it's gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I thank you for sharing that. And I think each of us in our own birth order had to deal with grief in a different way. You being the oldest, second oldest, y'all being middle baby, like each one of us felt it in different ways. And so if you don't mind explaining how that was for y'all when we experienced the loss, like how did it affect you as who you, like the order of who you are, like in your birth order, like,
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to call. I was just, it's just a very confusing situation when it's abruptly, you know what I'm saying? And I can hear the cries from y'all when it all just transpired. So that was like some triggering with anxiety when y'all would call and stuff. So it's just harder to, it was harder to see the effects that it was going to put on everybody and mama at the same time when daddy left. Mm-hmm. But then when mama left, it was just like, she was pretty much a rock. Mm-hmm. So, who's going to take that ball and run with it? So everybody had to do it. So it was a tough situation, regardless of what age we were. It was shocking. So, just trying to be lean on each other. That was the best thing we could do at times. Not even saying that we always did it, but when we did come together, it was always love. So
yeah. What about y'all?
I say for me, it was really tough because during the time, me and Haley were the only ones in the house majority of the time with mom and dad. So we watched them, like everybody have seen them decline, but we watched them decline rapidly. Mm-hmm. And that was very tough because I'm considered the nurse of the family because I'm always the one trying to, I guess, heal people. And it was just hard because I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't help. And it was tough. I mean, being the middle child, me and my father, we share the same birthday, and holidays, it does get tough because I think, oh, dang, me and my dad would have been doing this because my mama or my granny, they would celebrate us by having a cake with both of our names on it. So to now 10 years, not having that is different. But I'm thankful that I still have y'all, that I get to celebrate whether I'm in Houston or whether I'm in town, I'm glad that I still have y'all. And it really, if I had to be honest, when it comes to this grief, like, if I didn't have y'all, I don't know if I could ever know how to manage. Like, we had a good foundation. Mom and daddy put a good foundation in us. And I'm just glad that what they taught us, we were able to depend upon each other during that time, even when it was hard for us, individually.
Mm-hmm. For me, I feel like I was in a denial, really, because me and Bianca, like Bianca was saying, we lived in we lived in the house with them like throughout the time of all of that. And because we were so used to going to the hospital, we just were like, we never thought like, oh, that'd be the last time we'll see daddy. Mm-hmm. But then I do think about sometimes like when he was like about to be put on the ventilator and he was like telling us goodbye. But, for me, I wasn't thinking like that was goodbye. I was like, he might have to go under, but we'll see him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like he literally, yeah.
Mama
like he
actually got mad at us. Remember? Do you remember that? Mm-mm. Remember when Daddy, he grabbed us, he said, I love y'all, I love y'all.
Like, and then Mom was like, he grabbed us hard.
Yeah, Mom was like, y'all got to get out of here. Y'all getting him upset. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. But like, that was the last time we ever, we heard him talk, and he was on that ventilator for the whole time. So we were really in denial the whole time. Cause I mean, I was like, there ain't no way, there ain't no way he's gone. Like, mm-hmm. I was literally thinking there ain't no way. So the whole time during the funeral, I literally thought that. And so for me, I felt like most of the time, because I'm even thinking about Mama's too, I was kind of isolated because I just didn't know how to feel. Because mm-hmm. I'm, now with therapy, I know how to talk about some of my feelings, but it wasn't like that all the time. Like, I really was like, I really closed off to myself. I really, introverted, like to keep to myself. Don't like to tell a lot of things, my feelings. I don't like to do that. So y'all really didn't know a lot what I was going through because I kept it to myself. But so like, that was the only way I really knew how to be, was to be by myself. So until the funerals, that's when I really reacted like, oh, this is for real. Like, because I remember even mamas, I was like, I'm gonna be all right. Like, even though I had a whole, breakdown when y'all were like calling me like cold blue and all that, and I didn't really understand that. But like, I felt like it was something because I could hear y'all yelling in the back. But it's like, I was like, oh, like, this, there's no way like mom was going to pass and I'm at work and she literally told me to go to work.
Joy,
Yeah.
that just destroyed me because I was like, I was there at nighttime and I was like, I'm not going no Sherwin Williams, but I just had a bad feeling and then I ended up having to go to work in the morning and Uncle Jabo was like, you need to go. And I literally ran up them. I ran up there and the nurse was like, you can't go back there. I was about to go to jail. I was about to go to jail, man, for real.
Yeah.
So.
That's the same. Well, that one, I didn't like go through, because I remember daddy, like, we ran through
Bombard
hard,
the
'cause
nurses.
the way that the doctor came in there was like, so like, if you think about it, it was like he had no type of heart the way he came out with it. He was like, he's gone. Like, of course we're gonna react like that. So like, I mean, my thing was like, I need to see it for myself. So that's why I climbed on the table, because I was like, I need to see this.
Baby, that nurse was talking about, and I
She
said,
was like, wow, yeah.
I went, sorry.
When you say that, that's the doctor, because I was in there most of the time with daddy, during the daytime and stuff, and that doctor would always come explain, information about his lungs and all that, and it was a different, type of response that he was giving. It was dry, you know what I'm saying? Like you said. But that same doctor, when mom was being resuscitated, when I ran back there, he was standing over her and he was like, there's nothing else we can do. And that's when I was like, let me try. And so at that point, I was like, and I'm not going to let him be the one to not let me attempt to do the same thing he's doing. But it was just crazy to see that same, presence in the room at that time. So, yeah.
I didn't know he was in there with mama too. But yeah, that was tough. It was like seeing the denial of it, and then really growing up. We had to grow up like really, because we weren't young, but we was young, like, because we still lived with mom and daddy, so we were extremely dependent on them. So we didn't know how to do anything. Like, we didn't know how to drive. Like, we didn't know how to do anything. So it's like when they left, it was like, what do we do? Like, what do we do? So I do thank you, Tiffany, for like moving in. We moved into that apartment and all that, and helping us kind of get on our feet with that. Because I mean, I didn't know nothing. I mean, I didn't know anything. I mean, I had like, we had like a understanding with mama and daddy. Like, they were like, we're gonna let y'all slowly get into the world, basically, is what the understanding was. Like, she was teaching me like, oh, if you borrow this, like, so we were paying them back for things we were borrowing, all this stuff. Like, we were just getting into that. And then it was like, dang, we're like into adulthood. So it was like, boom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like I grew up pretty quick, really quick.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about how swiftly everything happened, it was just, it almost felt like a rug was just pulled under us. I mean, we just lost dad in July, and then we lost mom in December. And it was just like, it wasn't enough time to even process his death. And then it's like, here's mama's. And so I think for me, as the oldest girl, my gut reaction was like, is that's it? Like, I'm done. Like, I had a dramatic experience. I passed out, when my mom died, and I was rolled in a wheelchair downstairs. They had to admit me because I passed out.
I was in a wheelchair too.
They had to roll. They actually turned my body away from
I like passed out, like I fainted. And so they had to admit me they had to sedate me pretty much.
They had to sedate her.
Because I kind of lost it. And it was like that moment, because I think I was still holding on to grief with dad. And then it was like mom passed, and I was just like, I'm done. That's it for me. Just take me out. Like, take me out.
To me at that time when mama passed, you have friends that are around at times, and the friend that was around, I didn't expect, And, I like to thank Tyneen because he was there at the right time. So it was just like, I was by myself. So
shout out to the Shores.
Yeah.
Literally. That's our other family.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, different people showed up at different times that were helpful. And then we had situations where people,
Disappeared. They're gone.
they were at the funeral, like, we're going to be there.
Be right there.
Whatever you need, we're going to be there. And it's like they dipped out. And I think what people fail to realize is that even though we're older, we're still the children. We're the children of our parents left us, and people that have been childhood friends with them and grew up with them. It's like, you go up there and, on the, for the remarks and say, whatever y'all need. Blah, blah, blah. But I also, to their defense, I also have to say that it probably was hard to see us because we reminded them so much of who they lost.
Literally.
And so I acknowledge that as well. That it's like, man, like you want to help me, but seeing us maybe re-triggered your grief. And so I hold that pocket. But also I feel like in the flip side, if I have a friend, a sister or a brother, who passed away and their children are still here, I would invest. Mm-hmm. I would look out. I would say, you need anything? Or even if the child kept saying no, I would still check in. It's like, I couldn't imagine, Bianca has a son, Daxon. If something, Lord forbid, anything happened to her, like he would have us. Like, I'm gonna be there. Like, I am going to be there and not because he's 7, even if he was 17, even if he was 27, 37, I'm going to be there for him because I love her. So because I love her, he's an extension of her, and I'm going to show love to her. So I think that was probably one of the most disheartening things that I think I experienced, like in this time of grieving our parents, is like the people that kind of disappeared. Mm-hmm. And everybody's there for the funeral, but it's like they scatter, like, mm-hmm. And after that, because I really feel like also people don't know how to deal with grief. Mm-hmm. They don't. It's like, do I give them tissue? Do I hug them? Do I console them? Do I say something? And there were so many people that said ignorant stuff. They would be like, the Lord wanted them most. All right, shut it now. The Lord wanted them most. I ain't trying to,
sing in your ear.
Like sing a little lullaby. The Lord wanted them most, or it's better this way, and the Lord wanted your attention fully. Just different stuff like that. It's like, just FYI, if you don't know what to say, don't say nothing. That's just the best thing. If you don't know what to say, if you ain't got to pull up no biblical reference, absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Everybody say that. Does that bring comfort to some people? Not really. It's just something religious to say. And so sometimes it's better not to say anything than to say, just to say something. I mean, would y'all agree, or what do you think? Like, did y'all hear some different stuff when y'all was like?
Because I'm the oldest, I was told to be tough. So, mm-hmm. It's just, in that certain point of time, they could trigger it to where you just go into acting like you got to be tough. So, I didn't really get to grieve at all during that process, because it was like, I got to take care of, I'm not saying me wholeheartedly by myself, knowing that we all had to take care of this together, but I got to figure this out. Mm-hmm. I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. Who gonna give me directions or put me in the right, mind frame to take this step to try to get these people, to the next place. So it's just, that was hard. And then, it's a lot of people that have been in and out of our lives that need to stay there, stay away. That time frame is gone. But it was some people that stuck around and helped out like they were supposed to. So they were a blessing. Mm-hmm. So, but some people, they just had their own agenda. So, but the Lord will take care of that. That's why we still moving like we are, because at the end of the day, He had our back.
Yeah.
And always will. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. What about y'all? Anybody say anything that was like annoying?
I mean, there was multiple things. I mean, we ain't
gonna put no names on it.
No, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
But I did. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
What I was gonna say is that I feel like with that happening, I mean, of course, there's grace in that. I mean, people don't really know. I mean, some people say ignorant things, but like also like God knew like what we could handle, mm-hmm. in that time. Because I mean, nobody really knows. Like you said, nobody really knows what to say during those times. And honestly, we weren't really listening. Okay.
That's true. That's
He
outside.
was not listening. Okay.
Okay, we
So
just
who was not?
No, like
yeah.
people will come. It's sad because it's like every black funeral depicted in movies are pretty much accurate. It's like
Accurate.
everything is like somebody deep in comes one of joy. You know, they get on there and it's like somebody's gonna say that. Like everybody knows every verse that's gonna be said out of the Bible. Everybody knows who's gonna go up there and act the fool. Like we just know these things. So it's like I do feel like that's the thing that I'm like, people got to realize like these funerals is not about y'all. Like y'all, people be going up there making it about them. Like it's not about y'all. Literally, like y'all falling out, and it's like really they falling out because of time they really didn't try to get with the person who passed away.
Yeah.
It's lost time that they're grieving.
Yeah.
But it's like don't be acting up now. You had the time.
What you want to say, Bianca?
She basically hit the, I was going to say the same thing. Again, like you say, you have to give grace because people really don't know what to say or how to react because it's very rare to hear someone say, like, y'all lost your parents in a short amount of time, like what to say, what to do in that time frame. But also, it's just, again, just being there. I don't know what I'm going with that, but
I feel like you said like off a Pootie Tang, like when you just took everything I just said.
I don't need you saying nothing.
Yeah, I felt
But
that.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You can, I just whatever you
Love
said. I love you too. What a time.
Yeah, I feel like there was different experiences that happened for all of us during that time. But I mean, even just like, what would you say now as we're moving forward, as adults and having to experience that? Where would you say you are now with your grief, with the loss of mom and dad?
For me, I think I still have my moments, especially now as a parent, because the bad. Well, not really. It's not even a bad thing, but the sad thing that I would have to say about it is that my son doesn't get to experience them the way we did. But I love the reminders because Daxon is definitely a mix of both Daryl and Sevilla. But I would say right now where I'm at with my grief is that I'm a lot better. I do have my moments, where like holidays or even birthdays, like we just had a birthday. That was kind of tough, but other than that, I'm pushing forward. I'm grateful for family, but I'm mostly grateful for God because if it wasn't for him, I would not be where I'm at now.
Good.
I feel like it's kind of like 50-50 type of thing because it's like I do feel like I have made a lot of growth like with my grief, but then I have my moments where I'm like, oh, like I could go left, like straight up. And I have left work before and all that because of it. Because, you just, like you said earlier, like you never know when it's going to hit you. I do grieve the thought of things that are coming in the future. And I'm like, dang, like I wish they could be there for this part. Like, us. I mean, I know Tiffany, you probably felt that way too when you were walking down the aisle. Like you want daddy to be there. And I feel the same way. Like I would have want daddy and mama to be there like during that time. And then, I know Bianca, like you said, like becoming a parent, like you wish they were there. Me, same thing. I wish that they could be there like during that times. But I can always, thank God for just being both of them in like through him, like being what I need through him. Because I feel like, I mean, where could we be? Who could we be without God? Like I can't do anything without God. And I know that. I didn't know that for a long time because, I mean, I was in them streets.
Okay.
In them streets. And the Lord saved me. Because, I mean, that was a part of functioning depression. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
Even hit that club.
because I really wasn't a drinker, but I was like, oh, like, I'm a social. Like, and it's crazy because it's so opposite of what I am. Like, I usually don't like people touching.
Yeah.
And I don't like talking a lot. Or, depending on who I'm talking to.
Like I said,
I'm not gonna lie here. I'm
You
not
can
gonna
talk
lie here.
now.
Shh. But I'm saying, like, in the club, I was like a whole nother persona. I'm like, I feel like all three of us had the same persona. Like, the party person. Like, we gonna get things started.
I'm like that with or without it,
Now
Just
I'm
want-
just, it's a work in progress.
All right.
That's all that matters, sister.
You don't, it's holy.
Yeah. What about you, Ladie? Where do you think you are with? Because it's been 10 years, right? 10 years.
been 10
years.
It's coming up on 11.
I still go to the grave site and pay my respects, and have my quiet time with them to gather my thoughts, For me, being the oldest and was with them the longest, it's a different feeling. So, I go through a lot of memories of everything, and it's all jammed together. So, when it comes around time for holidays, and it hits me in a certain way, and I kind of just shut down. So it's still here and there, but for the most part, I'm way better than where I was at first. It was tough.
Yeah.
I want to commend you on that because, there was a time that you didn't want to share, holidays with us. And so I'm grateful that now, like, you're actually sharing holidays with us again. Like, I know it's been tough. So I just want to say that.
Yeah. I think for me, I can tell, when they say time heals all, I can tell there's been time and I can tell there has been healing, but there also is just a void. There's a void that cannot be filled because nobody can take the place of your father or your mother. Now, there's been people that I've had like spiritual fathers and mother figures that have come around, but even in those aspects, they're not it. And so it usually fails for me because it's like I want them to be them. And then it ends up, I get like sad and reminded that I don't have them anymore. And so I think for me, I miss them. I miss them. I wish my daddy was there and mama. I feel like if mama was at my wedding, it wouldn't be my wedding. It would be her wedding. It wouldn't have been my wedding. And I still would have been okay with that, And my dad walking me down the aisle for sure, like wanted that moment. And just even, as transition, to be other things, it's like I want them to be here too. And so I miss them, especially when I accomplished something and I know they would be proud of me, those moments, like, just wanting to have them around. So I think my grief has gotten better, but the hole is not filled, it's not filled, even though God is like strongly my foundation and he has shown up as my mother and my father at times. And he is truly who sustains me. There will always be a space for mom and daddy. Like there will always be a space for them with that.
I also felt like some sort of guilt. And it's not like it was guilt as in not celebrating them on days that like recently I was telling Bianca, I was like, I honestly forgot that it was daddy's birthday too. I literally forgot, and I was like, I felt like guilty, sometimes if I don't celebrate one parent or the other, but then I'm like, I also have to give myself grace because I know that's a part of me growing, not thinking about, not trying to harbor on that grief all the time too. But then also I'm like, I think about them all the time. We have 1,000 pictures of them. Literally there's a piece of us in each of us. So
I'm great. One thing I am grateful for is mama and daddy tape recording everything from childhood because I'm glad that we can look at those moments and be like, we had some good times. There were times I remember in the beginning, we really didn't have anything, but we had each other and it was that was enough. So I'm just grateful. So I'm encouraging everybody, honestly. Y'all need to record. Y'all need to take pictures of everything because it's going to be a time where that's all y'all have. And I'm grateful that, we used to get irritated with my mom all the time. Why you got to do this? Why you got to do? But I'm grateful that she did that because we can look at it and be like, thank you, mama. We have that.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask the question, what advice would you give to people who still have their parents or even people that have lost their parents? What advice would you give them since we've experienced this loss? And
communication is key. Once it's gone, you don't get it back. So, you better cherish the moments and the time that you got because that stuff is going to hunt you at the end of the day. So you just got to make sure that you're around for the times that God has put y'all together. So that's why I made a valiant effort to be here today because I I don't want to be held accountable for missing, and when I can be there. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, good. I think.
I feel like one thing he said was communication, but also being present and also being able to forgive. So I feel like a lot of people, like lot of reasons why they can't step forward, and when it comes to families, is because they're holding on to a lot of things that our parents did to us. And and it's true. It's like, even when I was going to counseling, I really thought I was going there for, number one was grief. But going down the rabbit hole, you're like, dang, that wasn't right. Like, what they did was not like right there. And so it's like, you have to be able to forgive your parents for a lot of like things that they've done. And it's not really even for your parents, it's for you. It's like, you're not going to be able to move forward if you don't forgive. So it's like forgiving, and then still on this people who have lost, it's like just taking care of their mental health. I mean, there's nothing more that I can think of like that's so important. It's like, and if you're spiritual and believe in God, it's like getting a relationship with God, because he truly, I don't think I could really have done any of it without God. And I mean, sometimes you don't even think about it's him like working through people, but he has definitely carried us through a lot of seasons, and we didn't realize it, and we didn't give him the praise. So it's like, yeah, God, and yeah, that.
Get this one. I'm sorry. I'm just proud of you. I am. I have to agree. I'm finna have another ponytail moment because I'm just so.
Once upon a time.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, everybody's relationships is different. There's some people that are like, again, harping on forgiveness and just hurt. And I just encourage people just to try to fix it and mend it. I don't care where they're at. Try to fix it and mend it, because there have been times where I've had to talk to people, like certain patients, like rebuilding their relationship with their kids, because it's tough. Like, because once you're gone, you don't, like, again, you don't have that time to fix it. And then you'll be holding on to that grief. And then next thing you know, you're drinking, you're doing drugs, and then you're rock bottom. Like, I just encourage people to fix it while you can. And also try not to go to those vices, because as a person who's been through those vices, it doesn't do you any good when you don't have God. Like, literally, if you don't have God and you don't have a good foundation or a good village around you, you're basically just dead. I'm just gonna be real. You're dead inside. But I just encourage y'all to do that. Like, get around good people that actually want the best thing to mend, like, to help navigate your grief. But I'm like, again, I'm thankful for y'all, because y'all have helped me tremendously. Like, there were times I was being rebellious, and Tiffany and Haley was like, okay, what's going on? Or even Ladie was just like, I ain't heard from you in a while. What's going on? So, I'm thankful for y'all correcting me in times where I was wilding out. I was really wilding out, or not knowing how to navigate. So, again, just having a good foundation of people who actually care for your heart, your mental capacity. Not saying that, I mean, some people don't know what to do, but at the end of the day, God and good people, and taking care of yourself.
That's good. I think for me, if you still have your parents, I definitely highly recommend that you ask them about their childhood trauma. That's one of the things that I did not ask my parents about. And as a person who is very much on mental, emotional, physical, spiritual well-being, it's like there's things that I've had to navigate through that I didn't know weren't mine, that were my parents, and that I've had to, like, they always like, I'm the chain breaker. Yeah, but why are you trying to break that chain? You getting slapped up with everything. And so if you are able to have those conversations with your parents about the trauma that they've been through and the things that they have yet to heal from, I would highly recommend it. Have it, and it may be hard for them. You may have to break it up in times and not really, go into all the details, but whatever they can handle, if you can know at least a little bit of information, it would be helpful for you. So I would say, if you have your parent, have that hard conversation. And the ones that lose your parents, I would just say, yeah, like, truly it's going to be important that you have a relationship with Christ. And I think one of the biggest things that I experienced is like, I realized that I lived for my parents. Like my parents were who I lived for. So they were my idols. They were my God. And so when I lost them, I didn't have anything. And so literally I had to rebuild my relationship with Christ because I had a relationship with Christ through them. And so when they were gone, I was like, who there? Who God? You know, and I knew of God. I had experiences with God, but I didn't have an encounter with God for real. And so when they left, I literally had to start over again, my whole relationship, and just try to figure out who he was, which turned out to be a wonderful thing. But if you could beat that, if you could beat it before you get there, I highly recommend it because you're going to need him. You're going to need him. You're going to need him in all aspects, always. And people will be people. You know, they're sometimes sometimey and they're fickle, but God is truly who he is. Like he the same. So he's been my firm foundation through this whole grieving process. And I just recommend that you build a relationship with him before you lose your parents, for sure. Yeah.
I like to say, you know, God puts certain people in your lives too, and puts you in certain situations to see what you're going to do and what you're capable of, which are, you know, is destination for you. So you never know what lane that God is going to put you in. You just have to be prepared and keep an open heart and help out where you can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I have one last situation. But before I say that, I do want to say again, like Bianca was acknowledging all of us, like, I am happy that we are here. You know, I'm happy that we've been through some things. We've had fights, we've had arguments, we've had disconnects and all the things, but look what the Lord has done. Like, and that is based off the foundations that our parents laid. And so I am forever in gratitude of them, but I'm also forever in gratitude for y'all for wanting to stay together, for wanting to be intentional, for wanting to really just try. Because you don't have to, like, there's siblings, people that don't have no relationship with their siblings and they're okay with that. But I don't think we were ever okay with it. I don't think it, because one of the last things Mama told me was like, y'all stay together. Mm-hmm. No matter what, y'all stay together. And it's just like, I've held on to that because I'm like, okay, no matter what, no matter if I'm getting cussed out or hung up in my face or leave me alone, Tiffany, you think you know everything. I don't care. I am willing to fight because I could not see my life without y'all. Mm-hmm. And so even for y'all to come on here, it just blesses my soul. And this is legacy right here. Like moments like these, we get to record and we get to have for the generations to come. When they want to like, oh, what was Auntie Tiff like? What was la la la? You know, it's like, oh, here we are together on this couch, sitting down, Humpty Dumpty. You know,
Sure, appreciate it, Tiffany, because you took on a lot when they passed away, and I wasn't more or less passing the ball to you, but I knew you would be able to handle your sisters a lot better than I would. And so I always commend you on that because that was hard. So, and I think we always say we love you very much. So.
Thank you. You better. Yeah. Well, one last question I have. If you would like to share one funny moment of Mama and Daddy that you would like to share before we go, what's a funny memory that you have of them? At least one that you can think of that you want to, like, so people could get a picture of who they were. Like, I know we talked about them passing, but there were so many dynamics to them as we talk about them. Oh, and I also didn't say what age group we are. You know, we didn't even say how, like, you know, how old we are.
I'm 40 years old.
40 years old. Okay, oldest, second oldest. I am 37. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, I'm 32.
32. 31. 31. Look at you. 31 years old. Okay. All right. Funny moment. Any funny moments that come to your mind that
it has to do with us, like a moment that happened with us, or just in general that we've seen them do?
Either one. Either funny, a funny moment that comes to mind.
I mean, a lot of moments was funny to us, but was not funny to them.
Oh, see, yeah, y'all had different experiences.
We was extra goofy, and so they could not stand us
Together. Okay. Yeah. Like behind.
I would wake up and they'd be watching Robot Chicken. I was like, this is not it. It's like,
And that show was pretty fun back then.
now that I've seen it
The first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
though. After that, I don't know.
It's almost like SpongeBob too. Like 1, 2, 3. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Just went downhill. That.
I think of a funny moment. I had tore my ACL and I had to sleep on the couch at their house. And I was also in a state of like, I was really trying to get into a deeper relationship with Christ. And so I was like, no to horror movies, like no, like none of that. And so my mom and dad would be in their room and I could hear them like listening to something scary. And it's just like, I was like, Mama, y'all in there watching scary movies? She's like, no, we not. And I could hear the channel going down. And then I fall asleep, I wake up and I hear, and I was like, Mama, she was like, all right, Daryl, we got to turn it off. You know? So it's like, they were like really best friends. So they would do like really sneaky stuff with each other and like, childish stuff, but it was like their love language with each other. Even though I was like the child, I'm like, turn that off. They like, we're gonna turn it off, but they was still sneaking and doing it. So,
To be honest, I mean, all the moments with them is they had everything was genuine with them, even if it was not right. They were always, funny with each other. So, at the end of the day, I just think they had too many to even pinpoint one.
It's very hard. I can't really think. Can't think of that.
I'm like,
They
man,
was just.
They just,
yeah.
I mean, I could think of one that shows how kind of crazy our mama was.
she painted Daddy's toes when he was sleeping.
Oh.
He was so mad.
He was so hot.
So mad.
And she painted it pink. Didn't he have to order open the door? And
Yeah,
like
it's for the air conditioning man.
and he saw that toe.
And that man looked like, okay, like what's going on?
Yeah.
But I would have to say a very funny, but two actually.
Go ahead.
And it had to do with you in sports.
Oh gosh, when she came on the court.
So
oh, that one?
in court, yes, where I guess Tiffany was getting fouled, the girl was thumping her in the head, and the ref was not calling it. And so my mama literally got out the stands. And what she do? She tapped the ref. The ref was like, you didn't see that. And we were just like, we finna get kicked out of here. Like,
Nah, for real.
But
She
now
got kicked out.
But yeah, she got kicked out, but that's not the only time she got kicked out. So the other moment I'm thinking about is softball.
Oh.
When she got on the field and they literally kicked out. It was a whole tournament.
Oh, yeah,
Kicked out the tournament, and they was like waiting for my mama to get out. My mama was like taking the time and even went to go purchase pictures, and she was just taking the time to purchase pictures. It was just like, it was so embarrassing, but
Yes.
she rides really hard for us, and
Queen
she
Petty.
does not like anybody,
Yeah.
touching her babies.
Okay.
You know what's a funny thing is, it wasn't funny to the people, but it was funny to us when we would be mama. Because she did not, if you know Sevilla, she did not like nobody who smoked cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Oh yeah.
she would carry a little small can of Lysol and would spray in the area of somebody smoking a cigarette. So if you was around her, you got smoked like on
Yeah,
site.
you smoking her? And we were like, Mama's
She'd
talking.
be like, I got something for you. In that big bag.
I think in stores where if you tried to play her anyway, she would hear the clown.
Oh, and I just brought that up the other day too.
I take on that same persona at
Yeah.
times because
I'd be hearing.
it was very well useful.
Definitely well useful. Explain that, because I don't think people
And they
know-
would, and
understand.
Daddy would be laughing on the side.
That's the people if you can hear the music in the background, and that would initiate
The clown.
the clown coming out. So
Which means she was gonna talk back to you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It didn't even have to say a cuss word. She always say, I'm an educated black woman.
Yeah.
And she's gonna let it be known. You cannot play her.
That's from Betty D.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Poof.
Okay.
Let's talk. Can we have a memory about Granny too? Let's
Yeah,
talk about
go ahead.
Granny. Let's talk. Okay, my granny had she had very bad road rage. So there was a time where where she was riding, this woman cut her off, and my granny, she's ex-military, so she had a Glock on her. And she showed that woman that Glock, and that woman said, she was like, you see, I was like, oh. And I think we was like, we was like 10 years old. We was just like, oh, Granny.
That's two memories.
me and Tiffany too.
There's
we
two
had that
memories.
same experience.
There's two memories I could think of. It's like one was me and Bianca used to always like terrorize them dogs in her room.
Oh my God.
So we would sit outside her door and have harmonicas and tambourines. We'd be like creating all this stuff. Them dogs would go crazy. Like, shut up! And them dogs would be going crazy.
And another one is when you pranked her with that roach on her wig. Yeah. That's a top memory.
Me and Haley said, when it come to pranks, Ladie, you are kind of top tier.
Top tier prankster.
I just like to have a laugh.
Yeah, and a deep laugh. Okay? And a deep laugh.
A deep laugh at that.
Yeah. That's
Well,
why
I
I'm
think
scared
it's-
now, I think.
Because he scared you so
Yeah,
much.
so many times.
Yeah.
Apologize.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we had a good childhood, you know,
had a great
that
childhood.
regardless of the things that we didn't, you know, experience and we did experience, overall, it was a beautiful childhood that we had with our parents and our granny, who was majority connected to our life. And so, yeah, I think this podcast can help people, especially as Black. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest, like we're a Black couple of siblings, you know, that are literally still trying to. We'll be.
I was gonna say Black, you know, natural, you know, but my sister ain't got the natural right now.
See.
I'm just saying, but you're naturally beautiful, so I'm grateful.
I naturally slap.
Okay, here we are back.
Okay, my bad.
Clear where we need to be. Okay, so again, thank you guys for coming on the podcast. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. That's another thing. We don't really see people be vulnerable. Everybody tries to keep it together as they share and be, you know, try to cookie cut themselves. But this is us just being raw, being honest, being ourselves, and felt like this would be helpful for people who have dealt with grief, who are siblings, and who have lost their parents. We were hoping that this would be inspirational to those to have the conversation. You know, you ain't got to do it on a podcast, but if you have siblings that you haven't talked to, if you have people in your life that are close to you that you haven't talked to, reach out, because life is short. And so we hope that this podcast will be encouraging. Also, before I go, I don't know if you noticed this shirt, you know what I'm saying, going on. You know, episode 2, I brought a handsome young man on, happened to be my husband, RJ Napier, who is an artist who literally puts his art on his shirts. And so I don't know if you know who this is. Let me just turn to the side. It's me. I'm on the shirt.
All right.
He happened to draw me as a cartoon situation, but yeah, be looking out for my husband's merch coming out as he's relaunching his page where he'll be putting his art on shirts. And so I just had to plug him, Fivefold Ministry, you know what I'm saying? Fivefold Ministry, boom. That's part of the situation. So I feel like that was necessary. I felt it in the moment. But anyways, just want to plug him in for sure because he is special. But again, thank y'all for coming on. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Me too.
And, you know, we'll be signing out. See y'all later. Holla. All right.